Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Jeremy and Andrew Show. And now, here are your hosts, Jeremy and Andrew.
What's going on, everyone? Happy New Year's. This is the Jeremy and Andrew Show. Welcome to 2024.
Holy shit. We're
Holy
here.
shit.
We fucking made it.
Yeah.
And no nuclear bombs have gone off yet. Well, at least we're assuming that when we're shooting this. Yeah, we could be dust right now, but...
No actual nuclear bombs.
Well, nuclear bombs have gone off.
Figurative nuclear bombs.
Have you ever seen the graph that shows, like, the actual nuclear testing?
Yeah.
Oh, my God, it's insane. Like, we've dropped, over 1,000 bombs, just testing-wise. Which you think people would be, like, more aware of that or kind of scared of that, but I guess they're not. They're just like, whatever. As long as it falls on Russia or Ukraine, they're fine.
Like, just as long as it's, like, underground, everybody's cool with it.
Yeah, they've done them in the water, and they've done them definitely, like, the desert and stuff.
Yeah.
Is it underground? Is that where they're doing them?
Yeah.
Oh, but they still show them on the map, I guess.
It still counts.
It's hard to not see it, I guess.
That's
still got to affect everything, though. The radiation and the soil and the water and the air, and it can't be good for anybody.
Oh, absolutely not. Do you know how much heat it takes to turn dirt into glass?
A fucking lot.
A fuck ton.
Dirt in the glass, not sand.
Dirt,
yeah. Yeah, I would say that's a lot. That's pretty intense. Yeah, I think they're talking about like in Hiroshima or Hiroshima, whatever you prefer. There's like these purple potatoes or something that grow there that are supposed to be like really good for your health, but they only grow there post the nukes going off. I don't know. Fact check me on this. This is a Tim Pool thing. I'm pretty sure that he mentioned this on the show.
I personally like to call it just Shima.
Shima?
Yes.
The Shima. That reminds me of the League. Shiva Kamini. So yeah, Happy New Year, everybody. This has really been like, thank you for everybody that's been watching these shows. We see you guys are watching. If you could do us a favor, drop a like, subscribe, and share the show. That way other people watch and we can keep doing this.
Tell your mom too.
Yeah, tell your mom. Don't tell my mom.
Definitely don't tell my mom.
But yeah, but thank you for watching. Either way, we're having a great time doing the show, and we appreciate all the love and support. So, I will say I am a little bit pissed off with YouTube, the copyright stuff. I was doing the editing for the Farley episode, and a few of my clips I had to either cut them down. I might even have to cut them out. I'm really pissed off about it. But it is what it is. I figured out the editing part. I figured out adding clips. I figured out, a lot of this other stuff. Still trying to figure out the loopholes with all the copyright stuff. So, bear with me. We'll get there.
Worst comes to worst, we can just act them out.
There you go. That's true.
Shit.
Slap it, Joe. Slap. Joe Schmidt's gay.
Yeah.
You would start with that one. All right, let me get in the pool. I'm wearing my thong bikini, so you're in luck.
Or didn't in like Fight Club, didn't like the projectionist guy just like add in like a second of porn?
Yeah. But they added the moaning, which was really funny to like, get the point across, and they show that scene. It's like, oh, he would just add in one clip of pornography, but then like they showed like, and then it would be like, and then like the parents would be sitting there like all uncomfortable in their seats. Like, dude, that's one of the best movies ever. There was a time in high school where I pretty much watched that movie every single weekend and just got fucked up. It was good times. Speaking of getting really, really fucked up, Hunter Biden.
Oh.
Have you seen his spending report lately?
I knew that. How can you describe the way Hunter Biden spends money? Do you know how to edit out racial slurs?
Well, it's not frugal. That's definitely not the word I would use to describe it.
Rich.
White trash. There you go. Is that what we're going with? Is that a racial slur? I mean, I guess
No,
that's one of the okay ones to use, though.
I was going the other direction.
Oh, I know what direction you were going in. I'm going in the direction that we can go in. I know full well what you were going for. Yeah, I mean, the spending on I think it was hookers, porn, sex club membership. That alone was about $1 million. But it's funny because as you look at the spending, I'll see what graphs I can pull up. I don't know. Some stuff I can find, some stuff I can't find. I can find it one week, I can't find it the next week. It's driving me fucking nuts here, people. But regardless, it's unbelievable because overall it's like $5 million spending, and some of it's on rehab. He tried a little bit. Yeah, hell, more than the common person. I mean, nearly $100,000 on rehab or more. But the problem is the drugs, the hookers, the sex clubs, and the stuff that probably isn't in a tax report that might be on a client list somewhere. But yeah,
he's not going to any low. His rehabs are basically vacations.
Yeah, for sure. That's all right, I just need a week off.
All right, let's go to Palm Beach. Let's detox.
Yeah, he's probably using those for tax write-offs. If you ever seen any of his art that sells for hundreds of thousands of dollars, I mean, that just is straight up money laundering right there.
Absolutely.
Some of his art's, it's not that bad, but for hundreds of thousands of dollars, it's not that good. So yeah, it's. I mean, I'll be honest. I would love to, hang out with the dude and spend some time. We would tear shit up. It would be bad. I'd probably end up behind bars. But the time we spend together before the arrest would be really probably a good time. He'd get me out though. I mean, Joe would get me out.
You sure about that?
No, I'm a MAGA. I'd be in there for the rest of my life.
You'd get 6 years for jaywalking.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
I'd like to wait until
for sneezing by the Capitol.
Wait until Hunter passes out and just draw a dick on his face. A nice one too,
Yeah, one that goes balls up here on the top and then goes all the way down, and then the the mushroom tip ends up in the mouth. You actually don't.
Yeah.
Is that what we're talking?
Yeah. just
I think 6ix9ine had that tattoo.
I would need a stencil and a marker from Michael's to draw the dick I want to draw. It's not just some
really
type
refine
of deal.
The details.
Yes.
I mean, you might as well just go tattoo gun at that point.
I guess.
In other political news, we're getting very political in the new year here.
Yeah.
Because 2024 for you people, if you're not ready for what's about to happen, let me just give you a fucking rundown. Conspiracy theories or not. The power's about to go out on you. The cyber attacks are through the roof. The EMP is going to happen. The power's going to go out. If you don't have fucking sternos and backup food, some backup water, gasoline, if you're not ready for this, you're going to be fucked. You should have already done it by now. So happy New Year to you. But what do you think? You think it's? I think it's going to happen. I think something bad's going to happen here.
I don't think it's going to be on the level that you just said, but something.
I think it's going to be bad. I don't think it's going to be.
I mean, it's going to be bad because something like this has never happened before.
Well, right. I mean, in the sense of you saying something is bad, look at COVID. We made it through it. We made it past it. We're on the other end. We're looking at the data now, and we're looking at all the fucking shit that's coming out about it. But at the time, it was unprecedented. Well, that's what we're about to see. What's going to be the next COVID? What's going to be the next unprecedented thing? It's going to be the power going out. I think that's going to be the big thing. Obama just was part of this movie that was getting produced, a Netflix movie. I'll figure out the name of it and put it up. But
I think it's called Obama's the best person in the world. Just ask him.
Yeah. Just ask Michelle. I mean, that's a big part of the movie is the cyber attacks, the power going out. I mean, they're telling you their plan before they do it. I mean, look at the World Economic Forum. They've talked about the 2030 agenda. You will own nothing. You will be happy. Look at the housing prices. Look at what they've done with, pensions and inflation, getting a car, interest rates, owning a home. This is where we're heading. You can call me a conspiracy theorist.
That one, I'm not going to call you a conspiracy theory.
Hey,
it's theorist because it's already happening.
Stay on brand, okay?
But in the good news, in 2024, there will probably be no Jews.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Jeremy, you're going to get us fucking canceled. See, of all the crazy shit that I say, Jeremy has to come out and say that. You know what I mean? I mean, Jesus Christ, Jeremy. I don't know if you've watched any of the debates or anything. I know you're
bits and pieces.
Yeah, you've probably seen clips and stuff. Vivek in this last debate, he came out fucking guns a-blazing. He said January 6th was an inside job. 9/11 was an inside job. I'm looking into the Saudis. He talked about BlackRock. I mean, he just fucking dropped that hammer on everybody. It was astronomical. Like, it was unbelievable. Did you see any of those clips?
A few. When Shapiro talks about Vivek, I kind of mute the podcast a little bit because he is so ridiculous.
What, is Shapiro on Vivek's side or no?
No.
I would imagine not, yeah. That makes sense. I don't know. Vivek, he's kind of one of those guys where it's like he's almost too good to be true. Because I think he was like Soros funded for like going through like college or something like that. And I don't know. He freaks me out a little bit because it's like I like where he's going with the climate change hoax and I like what he's saying. But it's almost a little too good to be true. I don't know.
Can you really trust him?
I can't trust anybody. Except for my boy. My boy, Kanye!
I learned in high school from a very important person in my life, Steve Austin, DTA. Don't trust anyone, son.
Oh, I thought it was DTF. Down to fuck.
No, DTA.
Oh. All right. All
right, getting back on topic. Just he has nothing to lose, He's not going to be, elected president, so he's just going to have as much fun as he can.
Yeah.
I think he's gunning for a cabinet position or Secretary of the Interior.
Yeah, he's going for something. I could definitely see him being part of a cabinet. Indian in the cupboard. Oh, shit. Sorry, I shouldn't have done that one. It worked too well.
It could have been worse. You could have went while you were saying it.
The problem is if they actually try to take him out and you see the dot over his head, everybody's just going to think he converted to be a Muslim. Or an Indian or whatever it is. I don't fucking know. We're going to have to cut this whole thing out. No, we're keeping it in. Fuck you guys. We'll be right back. We'll keep it here. Actually, I'm going to mention it now. So, have you seen? We're gonna go to the lighter side of comedy here, people. Politics is comedy. It is, whether you believe it or not. It's funny. Adam Ray. Do you know Adam Ray? Are you he's a stand-up comedian and stuff.
Nope.
Okay.
Don't know who he is or what he does.
So Adam Ray, he does Dr. Phil as a character incredibly well. So he's been doing this Dr. Phil character for a while. He did it on Kill Tony at one point. And Adam Ray himself, he seems like he's a pretty funny dude. His stand-up's okay, but him as Dr. Phil is absolute gold. And I'll have to throw in some examples of this. But yeah, he has the impression down pat, and then he has Jeremiah Watkins on all the time from from Stand Up on the Spot, and then he was on Kill Tony. He was one of the primary band members. But yeah, let me just give you an example of Adam right here. Is
Well, hey guys, welcome back to the show. I am, of course, Dr. Phil. Now look, life throws us a lot of lemons, and sometimes you make lemonade, and sometimes you try to put that lemon up inside a human being, a la Richard Gere and the Gerbil thing, circa 1990, whatever. But it's all about how you adjust to change, okay? I've always said if you can look in the mirror and ask yourself, who am I? You can figure out who touched you. And today's guest is dealing with a whole different set of circumstances. You've seen Lemony Snicket's series of unfortunate events. Well, this guy's life is a little more depressing and f***ed up than that. Please welcome to the show first-time guest and longtime mailman, Walter Fig.
Fuck you. You get the impression is fucking solid, but the stuff he says is unbelievable, dude. He's really good as Dr. Phil. It's impressive. I'm just trying to think, like, there's a lot of stand-up comedians that have done that track. We've talked about them in the past, where it's like, on their own, like, would they have been as big if they weren't the character? Like, if they didn't take on that character. We talked about, like, Larry the Cable Guy. Like, would he have been what he was if he wasn't, like, that character? And he was pretty much that guy, but, like, he took on that character. I mean, even more extreme examples would be, like, Pee Wee Herman. Reuben Paul. He was like...
Reuben Paul.
What did I say?
It's Paul Reuben.
Paul Reuben, yeah. Paul Reuben. That's my dyslexia. Paul Reuben, as Pee Wee Herman, and Andrew Dice Clay. Like, those were just real, like, fucking characters on stage. But I don't know if you can think of anybody else that was, like, a character on stage that, like, I don't know, maybe they wouldn't have even been a known name if they didn't take on that persona,
Pat Morita. Pat Morita, he used to be a stand-up before he got the role as Mr. Miyagi.
Oh, okay.
Like in the 70s, he did a character called the Hippie Nippy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Is there a video of this?
Yeah, a little bit.
Wow.
Then
because you wouldn't have known about it otherwise. I mean, there's got to be some tape of this.
Yeah. Then that character he does in Karate Kid totally just wipes out. You don't think of Pat Morita as the stand-up. You think of Pat Morita as Mr. Miyagi. That is such an iconic character.
Hippie Nippy or Hippie Dippy?
The Hippie Nippy.
Oh, it's hard to find anything. I mean, at least on YouTube it is. I'm sure there's stuff on, the standard web, but as far as actual video footage, that might be. Looks like see, George Carlin. That's the Hippie Dippy Weatherman thing. That's a whole nother thing. Yeah, that's hard to find. Wow, I never knew anything about that. Yeah, when you think of Mr. Miyagi, that you're never gonna fucking think that he was a stand-up comedian. I mean, he was so like kind of like stoic and yeah, the wisdom that he displayed. You don't think of him being like the hippie nippy. That's pretty interesting. Was he any good?
I don't even know, but I just saw it on the internet.
That's like a gimmick as like Doug Benson, like he's like known for being a huge pothead. He did Super High Me, which was like the spinoff of Super Size Me. And I mean he's made a huge career. I mean he's made a shit ton of money off of just being the comedian that's fucking stoned as shit. Like so stoned on stage where he doesn't really have a lot of jokes. It's funny that he's that fucking high on stage. Which I guess to each their own, but it's that's kind of what he's become. It's not necessarily a character, but he's become a character because it's like, okay, this is what I'm going to do on stage. And
I feel like every stand-up eventually becomes like that. Like they're not trying to become a character, but after a while, it becomes a little bit of a character. myself included.
Yeah. Well, you hear comedians talk about how long it takes to like find your voice, right? Like it takes a long time to sound like yourself or be yourself. I wonder if that's like the actual maybe their personality coming out. Like I haven't come fully to my own on stage yet. Like I haven't just gone balls to the wall. I haven't even fucking taken the microphone out of the stand. And part of that is because I'm only doing an open mic once a week, once in a while. I'm trying new stuff all the time. But like the way I write my comedy, I envision myself like basically like having the mic out of the stand and just fucking rolling. And that's like, when I'm writing it down, that's how it is in my head. But then it's hard for me to take that transition of just being like, all right, boom, I'm just going to fucking do it.
I tried to keep the mic in the stand once. It felt weird.
Yeah.
Probably some sort of autism deal. It's like, I need to hold this microphone.
Well, I started off with the notebook, and you never really have a notebook or anything. So
well, I've been doing it long enough where I don't need the notebook. But...
Did you start off with a notebook?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. I think that's the thing is like I'm used to having either a notebook on my hand, in this hand, and then the mic stand here. So I'm like, I don't want to be like walking around with the mic and the notebook.
I had a printout at one point, just word for word. Mic in one hand, printout in another hand.
Did it have on it all your little tips that you give everybody? Speak as loudly as you can. Don't go too quickly. Slow down. Keep the mic to your mouth. You just had that, like all those little bullet points to yourself?
No. That's just stuff I learned over the years. And you don't forget about the most important tip I give people. Have fun.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, this shit is supposed to be fun.
Yeah. The fuck? Have fun, people. Yeah, I'm having a great time. Honestly, it's been a blast.
It is the best decision I've ever made.
Yeah, it's a good time. What do we want to get into here? Listen, we did talk about the COVID stuff a little bit. I'm gonna say there's this there's this guy from New Zealand Health Services, Kevin McKernan. He had all this data that came out, and he was basically the one tracking all the data. So he would track. He put together the entire tracking system of who's getting what batch, their name, the lot number of the batch, so that they can like basically track like the outcomes of these people. And it came to light that like. Like they're coming out and they're saying this guy like, oh yeah, he was using the data improperly. They fired him, and then all of a sudden, all of his data was like erased overnight. I mean, what do you think of that shit? Because like again, I mean, I'm a conspiracy theorist, but I'm also a realist.
Who is he working for? Like the government of New Zealand?
Yeah, like New Zealand Health Services.
No, New Zealand was extra cunning when it came to lockdowns.
Extremely, yeah. I mean, was a prime minister. Is that what they have over there? That bitch got the fucking axe. And, I mean, look at her. She's a fucking demon, dude. When she talks, her mouth and her teeth and everything, the way she talks, dude, that's a fucking demon right there. Sorry, I'm going full Alex Jones. He's back on Twitter, baby.
There has to be a reasonable, what's the word? Autism. Conclusion to why they deleted his stuff.
Yeah, because it's a fucking cover-up. There's a reasonable conclusion why they haven't come out with the Epstein client list. Just like there's a reasonable conclusion why all this stuff about election fraud is coming out later, way, 3.5 years too fucking late. It's all bullshit, bro.
I mean, well, somebody's trying to sweep stuff under the rug, but at the same time, have you not? All this could have been avoided with a fucking zip drive.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is like, you can make everything digital in order to be able to like hack it and manipulate it. But then when it's that digital, you have this digital footprint, like 2,000 Mules, where they're able to see
That's
all
a lot
these
of
cell
mules.
phones. That was actually a donkey show that I saw when I was in Mexico, 2,000 Mules. It was horrendous, but I mean, hey, I never came faster. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, they leave this digital footprint where, like, they can see how many, cell phone users were in the area and how long they were there and, like, how many ballots were dropped at a certain time. Like, they can see all this stuff now. But you know what? We're all just fucking puppets. You know what I mean? Like, none of this. Listen, we need to fucking rise up. Rise up. And, I don't know, we need to fucking do something. What do you think, Jeremy? What do we got to do?
Yeah, let's rise up, but you first.
All right. I took a Blue Chew about 30 minutes ago, so
I didn't need to hear that.
I'm about to rise up, if you know what I mean. No. Here's one other thing we'll get into. Or two other things we'll get into. We'll stick on the political thing. There was a bill proposed for banning lab food in Florida, which we talked about Italy doing that with all the Bill Gates lab grown shit. And I was hoping that more places would follow suit. So of course Florida is gonna take the first step in that. I know you and I were talking about, like, we haven't tasted any of that lab-grown, plant-based bullshit. We've probably been eating clone stuff for forever.
We've been eating clone stuff for years.
Yeah.
There's a reason why, when you go to the store, one pepper is 89 cents, and the other colored pepper is like $1.72.
Yeah.
Because they can clone the 88-cent pepper.
So you're saying the green pepper can be cloned, but the orange pepper...
Yeah.
It's not because the orange pepper adds more color or pop to a dish.
No. They just can't clone it.
Interesting.
And they can't use like a...
So you believe in cloned meat, but you don't believe in a simulation.
I never said clone meat. I said clone peppers.
That's just called growing vegetables. That's I mean, they do that shit with fucking weed all the time. Weed strains, hybrids. Like, they clone that all the time. You don't think there's cloned meat? I thought you said on the one episode we talked about cloned meat when we talked about the Italy thing. You didn't think we're getting cloned meat.
Oh.
You don't think so? You know they can clone fucking animals, right?
Yeah, that Dolly bitch in the 90s,
Yeah. So I just blew your mind. You're like, wait, yeah, we do live in a simulation. We're cloning shit. I'm telling you,
all right.
By the time this fucking podcast comes to an end, Jeremy is going to hang himself because he's going to believe that we live in a simulation. And then I'll change my mind. I'll think, no, we don't live in a simulation anymore after that happens.
I do know
We should put the suicide hotline number up.
Clone meat, I won't go that far, but definitely some Chinaman meat.
Yeah. Just MSG. Yeah, it's funny because there's been like some Chinese restaurants in the area where, like, when they're newer, I like going to them because, like, they haven't bait and switched it just yet. Mm-hmm. They actually give you the good stuff. But then, like, dude, once you've been going to them for a few months, all of a sudden you start getting meat where you cut it in half, and it's like, what is this? Like, what is this? I don't understand it. We're gonna wrap it up very shortly here. The last thing we're gonna go into is Leah Thomas, or as I like to call her, Thomas Leah. Just like Reuben Paul. But this one makes more sense because Thomas should come before Leah because, the dick comes before the balls. Booed at the NCAA event. Also, there was some satire that went around about her losing her medals, all her medals going over her. God, we live in fucking clown world. I'm going to call Z-Zerb. Z-Zerb.
How about color Shim?
Shim. Shim's medal's going to Riley Gaines, and if you've seen it, people still believe that this is happening, because I actually had to do a deeper dive into it. But the support that Riley Gaines is getting, like everybody's like, yes, finally, da-da-da. But it was all bullshit. It was like it's like a Babylon Bee sort of a thing. But you're starting to see more and more of there was like a pool player. She refused to play against a biological man. I think there was like a skateboarding chick. You're starting to see more and more of this where like they're just starting to reverse course. So the pendulum for 2024 is swinging, my friends.
Yeah, if there's another transsexual swimmer, I feel like those other bitches will come armed with a boat paddle, just,
hold her underwater.
Yeah. just slam her.
Yeah.
You're not taking my medals, bitch.
Yeah, they'll just like swim underneath her feet and just fucking hook a ball and chain to her ankle and be like, all right, well, that's the end of her career.
Or they like
Zer career.
Or they intentionally pee in the pool and just send it over to her lane.
I mean, all those female swimmers, they're probably synced up. You know what I mean? So just when they all have their period, you let her go in the pool, Zer go in the pool, and that day nobody's wearing a tampon. So we're talking about parting the Red Sea, my friend.
Yeah,
imagine swimming in that. Then you fucking put a shark in the water. All right,
that's a little ridiculous.
We're gonna end it here, people. We're celebrating the new year. Hopefully you are too. We never got into New Year's resolutions because, quite frankly, we probably don't have any.
Oh, hell no.
No. Yeah, we're shit shows. I'm not going to commit to anything because I always fuck that up.
I don't even bother.
Yeah, it's probably not a bad thing. Thank you for watching. Check me out, as always, at andrewg.comedy on YouTube and Instagram.
And follow me, Jeremy Hupsher.
Thank you for watching. Love you guys. Bye.
Hey, thanks for watching The Jeremy and Andrew Show. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. New show every Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern.